Queen Elizabeth. Like I said, but one of the queens, like all the queens had their pictures taken. I think they tried to destroy or tried to smash and try it. Like I said, the queenship, the queens in Britain or London or somewhere around in there in Europe. I had a lot of. They worked for me. They were women working for me, and like I said, they were never weak. Um, like I said, I had to evacuate a couple queens. There was a queen that was going to be killed. One of them was killed. She was beheaded or something like that, and I don't know why. I believe for sleeping with another man or something like that. Some of the kings were viciously jealous, and basically she slept with another man because he was cheating on her like crazy. Like he had like 27 wenches or whatever, or girls, and she fell in love with someone else and was sleeping with him or something. I don't know. So they beheaded her, or he had her beheaded or something like that, saying that the king was where the power was. And like I said, the queens work for me. The king, I don't know. Like they were supposed to work together, blah blah blah. But anyway, though, so I was actually paying the queens, and technically I'd be paying the kings. But anyway, and I guess the kings probably said the same thing that Abraham Lincoln did. Why should I be getting 5 cents a day or 7 cents a day when I can be having it all? And you'll be dead in a few days, and they won't think it's me because I'll be giving my public address or touring one of your factories in Gettysburg or Gettysburg or whatever. Gettysburger. I don't know. Getting a burger, maybe. Maybe we're saying, I'll be getting a burger. And they translate it to Gettysburg. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I don't know. But he was going to be touring one of my factories and taking my stagecoach out. So there would be lots of people that would see him leaving this place. Blah, 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 blah. And I died of some fever or something like that. Like I said, anyway, though, yes. So anyway, though, I had no blood or genetic similarity to Abraham Lincoln, so they had to say that I was adopted or something like that. But realistically, no, he never adopted me. He just killed me. So anyway, though, but what was I saying? Oh, something. About Queen Elizabeth. She was very young, just like the current queen, and like I said, I really hate it. I mean, age struck the most beautiful, most wonderful women as well. Like she was a wonderful, wonderful woman, and was very good and very kind. And like I said, one of the queens actually went out there and actually died of the plague. Like she was out there, she was helping people, and like I said, the story. If you want a real story, if you want real history, research the queens. The queens were amazing. Some of them actually died. Of the plague or the disease that they went out. That the people would have the plague, so they would go out there to see if they could help or see if they could stop the sickness or do something about it. Sometimes at my direction. So it's kind of I blame myself for some of the queens getting the sickness and all that. They were just going out there to try and help, and they were noble. They were fearless, and they were bold, and they were wonderful. Like I said, that's why I yell at so many people, because it's like, you are nothing like them. Ah! Well, anyway, I mean, those people in the old days, they were epic, and they would go into any situation, and they would do what had to be done and what I had directed them to do. Which is why I yelled at so many people, because it's like no, those people were great people. And every time they died, or every time one of them got sick or hurt because of me, because I had asked them to go do something, I blamed myself. And I was angry and upset and hurt, because it was my fault. I was the one who had asked them to go out of their nice little house to go to see if there was something they could do about the wounded soldiers or the sickness. Anyway, though, like I said, biker gangs and Hell's Angels have nothing on the past. And as far as I'm concerned, I would say you're all weak compared to them. Anyway, because they were awesome. They were amazing. They didn't always know what they were doing, and they didn't have anywhere near as much science or technology as you do. And yet they got the job done. And sometimes they fought to the last man. Sometimes they struggled to the last person. But it worked. Like, they lived, or some of them lived. Sometimes they would write down things just before they died, some sickness or some disease. Anyway, noble and amazing and epic people. That's why why I made sure that they were commemorated and remembered, and statues and things like that. Like I said, somewhere around Abraham Lincoln, a bunch of pieces of shit got their statues made, and I ordered their statues ripped down and torn apart and taken down. Which is why I say verify everything. And then if you find any false gods, false leaders, false this, false that, tear them apart. Well, not the people necessarily, but the statues anyway. I have no mercy, and I do not. Yeah, anyway, angry. Very, very seethingly angry at a few people who are trying to be something that they weren't. I say, when the common person or the common people and the factory workers and the soldiers and everybody else were working hard and doing what had to be done. You find certain people acting less. Anyway, sometimes even the drunkards were more noble than some of the other people. That's why everyone, just because you're a king and queen doesn't necessarily mean that you're the only one that's going to be remembered. Sometimes just people like Thomas, Brian Thomas or something. There's this Irish guy named Thomas, and I think he was a great person. I don't know. Thomas O'Brien, I believe his name was. A great epic person that worked for me. I cared very deeply about him. And I think he might care deeply about me. I'm not sure. But anyway, though, he was a great man. And did a lot of wonderful things for people. So anyway, sometimes it was just the public that was actually, or the civilians that were the only ones who actually had an idea or a desire to have a better life. And they worked for it. Like I told the public, I told the world, I told all my life forms, give me 10 years, give me 100 years, and I will show you a new future, if you wish to follow. And they did. And it was epic. And just as soon as the future was in sight and epicness was in sight, somebody decided, well, what do we need you for? Or something like that. Abraham Lincoln. Anyway, like I said, the funeral and no one liked Abraham Lincoln. No one even knew Abraham Lincoln other than it's like opening up a Victoria's Secret magazine and seeing one of the girls and being like, oh, Abraham Lincoln. Why, yes, he does look good in a Speedo and a bra. That's all he was. He was a person that looked good in a suit with a top hat. And there were others. So, it's just a look. So, kind of like a mustache, a little mustache, which they made mandatory, which probably had more to do with Chaplin, or what's his name, that one silent film whatever guy, I don't know, Charlie Chaplin, which I don't know, he might have been Chinese or something, I don't know, or something like that, I don't know. There's a lot of lies, a lot of misconceptions, a lot of, they were trying to change the historical record, trying to make it look like I didn't name America, trying to make it look like I didn't have anything to do with the Constitution. Mostly so they could change it, I think. Anyway, like I said, whatever. A bunch of horrible people, a bunch of bad people, and like I said, they raped, they killed, they did lots of drugs, they got a bunch of people addicted. They made a bunch of really bad drugs and caused brain damage with a bunch of people. And they did a lot of bad things, and a lot of things that a lot of people really hated them for. So I was like, yeah, I had nothing to do with any of that. So, I'm Lucifer Starline. Builder of ships, the most rich person ever. Your creator, actually. In human form. So. Not just a Brian. So, Anyway, I'm just like, and also the creator of 12 other life form types, too. So, 12 galaxies, 800 galaxies. I just kept going. And like I said, at some point in time, the human race or humanity was actually trying to stop me from building more stuff. It's trying to stop me from building more stars. Trying to stop me from building more cities. So, and they're even now, they're like, blah, 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 Brian, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, Rodney and Rick Bush figured that if they had all the power, all the technology, then they would be the only one who knew. But like I said, yeah, Facebook, the web, so I can make these videos, blah, blah, and everyone can see this. And know who Lucifer Starline me, Brian Briley, is. So, yeah, I was known as Little Lucifer. Little Lucifer! Little Lucifer! And then later on I was like, because I'm Lucifer! People were like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, because I'm Lucifer. Sorry. Yeah. I was really angry at a few people. So, anyway. Yeah. So. And the Irish were angry at a few people too. So, anyway, yeah. Rightfully so, by the way. Like I said, the Irish were rightfully angry at a few people, and probably so some British people or some other people were rightfully angry at some people. And, a call to arms! Go to arms! Battle stations! Anyway, so yeah, a few people did have to be hunted around, and we had to go after a few submarines to hunt them down because they were sinking ships. Just like if you booked a cruise on Carnival Cruise Lines and you were cruising out there in the ocean, and some piece of shit in a submarine popped up and torpedoed the Carnival Cruise Line ship. I mean, yeah. That would suck, wouldn't it? So yeah, and my ships were actually built to be able to withstand torpedoes and stuff like that. Most of my ships could take at least 1 or 2 torpedoes and not even be affected by them. So yeah, I basically built for war. So no matter what, my passengers and my people would be safe. So anyway, because I'm better. Actually, sometimes I'd be like, because I'm better than you. I'm better than blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm not necessarily better than Thomas. Thomas was pretty awesome. So, anyway, like I said, there were a few people. There's a lot of Irishmen that really love Thomas. And, from what I heard or what I know of Thomas, he was a pretty awesome dude, too. And I agree with him. Just like a lot of people love the Queen and some of the other people in Ireland or England or whatever. So, anyway, there's quite a few really good people. When I found out about them, I was like, yeah, they are really awesome. I agree. So, anyway, yeah. So anyway, though, but Thomas, I believe, was running my LS shipyard, and he did a fine job of it, as we say. So, anyway, like I say, I don't know. That's why we cross-reference. That's why we back-check. That's why we confirm all information. That's why we don't just go by the stories or blah, blah. We actually look for physical evidence and also multiple written accounts to verify everything. So, yeah.